I am 29. Been with Brooke for 4 years. Living together for 2. I thought we were solid, making plans for the future, talking about maybe getting a bigger place, all that normal couple stuff. We have been together 4 years. Living together for 2, she said, holding my hands with this overly serious expression. I need to explore who I am outside of us. I think we should try an open relationship. Just for a while. To grow as individuals. I stared at her for maybe 10 seconds, watching her nervous energy, the way she would clearly rehearsed this whole speech. She had her therapy journal open next to her, probably with bullet points she had written down. Okay, her eyes widened, like she had been bracing for World War III. Really? You are not mad? You want to explore? Explore. Start tomorrow. She launched into this whole prepared presentation about boundaries and rules, and how this was about personal growth, not just physical stuff, how we would have check-ins and safe words and all this structure she would clearly been planning for weeks, without including me in any of it. We need to establish ground rules, she said, pulling out what looked like typed notes. Like, no bringing people to our apartment, no mutual friends, weekly relationship meetings to discuss how we are feeling. Cool, I said. So we are open starting tomorrow. Well, I was thinking we could ease into it over the next month. Maybe start with just emotional connections, then gradually, nah, tomorrow's good. You seem ready. She hugged me, actually crying about how understanding I was, how this would make us stronger, how most guys would never be secure enough to handle this kind of mature relationship evolution. The moment she went to shower, I texted her best friend Haley. Hey, wanna come over for dinner tomorrow? Making that pasta you love. Haley responded immediately. Brooke finally doing her girls' night. Count me in. Something like that. Nothing crazy. Just lingering looks. Unnecessary touches when Brooke wasn't watching. Drunk texts she would claim not to remember the next day. Oh my God, did I really text you at 2 a.m.? I was so wasted. I don't even remember what I said. But I saw the delivered receipts. Haley. I never responded before because I wasn't that guy. I was committed to Brooke, respected our relationship. All that. But now we were going to be open. The next day, Brooke left for work, literally glowing. She kissed me goodbye, like we were in some rom-com, talking about how excited she was to grow as individuals while strengthening our bond. She mentioned grabbing drinks with coworkers after work. I knew exactly which coworker. Jasper from her marketing team, the guy who commented fire emojis on all her Instagram posts, and had been sliding into her DMs for months. Haley showed up at 6 sharp wearing this little black dress I had never seen before. Where is Brooke? She asked, looking around our apartment like she expected her to pop out from behind the couch. Work thing. Running late. Wine's in the kitchen. We were 2 glasses in when she finally asked, so what is really going on? You sounded weird in your text. Brooke wanted an open relationship. Started today, actually. Haley nearly choked on her wine. She what? Yeah, apparently she needs to find herself or whatever. Explore who she is outside of us. That stupid Haley caught herself, glancing toward the door. Sorry, I shouldn't say that about my best friend. It is fine. I know you have had feelings for me. The silence stretched until she whispered. How? You are not subtle, Haley. But I was with Brooke, so I never, and now we are open. I was plating the pasta. This complicated carbonara recipe I had learned, just because Haley mentioned loving it once, when I heard Brooke's key in the lock. She wasn't supposed to be home until 11. It was 8:30. The look on her face seeing Haley in that dress. Wine glasses on the counter. Candles lit. Okay, the candles were petty but effective, was absolutely priceless. Like watching someone's brain short-circuit in real time. What is going on? Her voice pitched high and tight. Making dinner. Want some? I made extra, just in case. Why is she here? Haley stood up, smoothing down her dress with this little smile. Having dinner with your boyfriend? Is that a problem? You are my best friend. And we are in an open relationship, I said. Serving the pasta on our good plates. Started today, remember? You were so excited about it this morning. Brooke's face went through about 17 emotions in 3 seconds. Confusion, realization, anger, panic, then back to anger. That is not. You cannot just, Haley. What are you doing? What is wrong? I asked innocently. You said we needed to explore. I am exploring. With her makes sense. Right. We are open now. No, she stormed upstairs, and I could hear her frantically doing something. Turned out she was grabbing her phone to show me this dating app profile she had already made. She came back down, waving it around like evidence in a murder trial. I have been talking to people for weeks, planning this properly. There are protocols, dentist procedures. Cool. So have I. That was a complete lie, but her face made it worth it. Haley grabbed her purse, suddenly uncomfortable with the tension. Maybe I should go. This feels like something you two need to work out. No, Brooke snapped, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. Stay. Enjoy your little revenge dinner. Enjoy watching him use you to hurt me. It is not revenge, I said, twirling pasta around my fork. It is exploration, personal growth, finding myself outside of us. All that stuff you have been talking about for weeks, apparently. That is when she threw her wine glass at the wall, missed by 3 feet, and left a red stain on our white paint. You are doing this to hurt me. I am literally doing exactly what you asked for. Not like this. Oh wait, you said we would figure those out as we went along. Guess we are figuring it out. She started ugly crying, mascara running everywhere. You don't even like Haley. Haley looked genuinely offended. Excuse me. He is using you to get back at me. Cannot you see that? I shrugged, thought we were all adults here, exploring ourselves and growing as individuals. Brooke grabbed her keys and purse, shoving things around violently. I am staying at my mom's. Cool. Say hi to Deb for me. Tell her I said thanks for the lasagna recipe. After she left, Haley and I finished dinner, but the mood was completely different. Nothing happened. She was too weirded out by the whole scene. And honestly, so was I. But Brooke didn't need to know that detail. The next few days were absolutely mental. Brooke blew up my phone from her mom's house. 137 missed calls in 48 hours, I counted. Her mom, Deb, actually called me at work to say I was emotionally abusive for weaponizing the open relationship concept. Deborah, I said, because using her full name always annoyed her. Did Brooke mention that she is the one who asked for this? The silence on the other end was absolutely beautiful. Well, she said you weren't fighting for the relationship. She told me to explore. I am exploring. With her best friend. She didn't put any restrictions on who. Said we would figure out boundaries later. More silence. Then Deb hung up. Meanwhile, Jasper, the marketing coworker with the fire emojis, actually had the audacity to text me, not call. Text. Hey bro, just wanted to check if you are cool with me and Brooke hanging out. She said you guys are open, but she seems really upset about something. All good, man. Enjoy yourself. You sure? She has been crying a lot during our conversations. That is just her process. Very emotional explorer. She is really into personal growth right now. Okay, if you say so. She mentioned wanting to grab drinks again tonight. Have fun. Try the mojitos at that place on 5th Street. She loves those. 2 days later, Brooke came by the apartment while I was at work. I know, because she rearranged everything. All my stuff was moved slightly. Books turned backwards, television remote in the kitchen, shoes in the bathroom. Real mature stuff. She also left a 4-page handwritten letter on the kitchen counter. 4 pages about how I would misunderstood the assignment. Apparently, an open relationship meant she could date others while I worked on myself, and waited for her to finish her journey of self-discovery. The mental gymnastics were Olympic-level impressive. I never meant for you to actually see other people, she wrote. I meant for this to be about me finding my authentic self while you supported my growth. Now you are making this about your ego instead of our relationship evolution. Best part. Netflix account and deleted my profile. That night, she showed up with Jasper at 10 p.m., rang the doorbell non-stop until I answered, like she was trying to wake the whole building. We need to talk, she announced. Jasper hovering behind her like a confused golden retriever. About what? About rules. Boundaries. You cannot date Haley. Why not? She is off limits. She is my best friend. That is crossing a line. Jasper piped up, trying to be helpful. Maybe we should discuss this tomorrow when everyone's calmer. Shut up, Jasper, Brooke snapped at him. He looked at me sympathetically, like we were both trapped in the same nightmare. Brooke, you wanted it open. We are open. Deal with it. I am changing the rules. Cool. I don't agree to the changes. You have to. Why? Because I said so. Jasper was slowly backing toward the stairs. Smart man. He could probably sense the crazy escalating. She tried to push past me into our apartment. My apartment, technically, since her name wasn't on the lease. I blocked her gently but firmly. You moved out, remember? I still live here. Your mom's house says otherwise. She actually stamped her foot like a toddler. You are being unreasonable. I am being exactly what you asked for. This isn't productive. She whirled on him. Whose side are you on? He left, just turned around, and walked to his car without another word. Brooke ran after him screaming about loyalty and support, but he was already driving away. I shut the door and made popcorn. This was better than Netflix. Haley texted asking if I was okay. Apparently, Brooke had sent her 30 voice messages, calling her a backstabbing bitch and accusing her of planning this whole thing. I am good. You. She is completely insane. We didn't even do anything. She doesn't know that. You are evil, Lal. I am exploring my dark side, personal growth. A week later, things escalated fast. First, Brooke tried to move back in, showed up with a U-Haul and her brother Keith while I was at work. Thing is, I had changed the locks. She had moved out, seemed reasonable. She called the cops, claiming I would illegally evicted her. The officer who showed up looked so tired. Like this was his third domestic dispute of the day. Sir, your girlfriend says you illegally locked her out of her apartment. Ex-girlfriend. She moved to her mother's house voluntarily after requesting an open relationship that she now regrets. She says she still pays rent. She doesn't, never has. I have all the lease documents, utility bills, everything. Her name's not on anything. Brooke screeched from the hallway, I contribute to this household. The officer looked at her. How do you contribute, madam? I buy groceries sometimes. I gestured to my fridge, still stocked with food from 2 weeks ago. Feel free to check the receipts. Everything's mine. The cop told her this was a civil matter and left. Keith apologized to me quietly and drove the U-Haul away, shaking his head. Then came the social assassination attempt. But not the usual social media kind. No, she went analog. Old school revenge. She printed flyers, actual paper flyers with my photo, a candid shot she had taken of me sleeping, and cheater in giant red letters. Put them up around my gym, my office building, my regular coffee shop. But here is the stupid part. She included the whole story on the flyer. The entire story, including her asking for the open relationship first. My boss Gregory called me into his office Monday morning, holding up one of these flyers and trying not to laugh. Dennis, is this affecting your work performance? Not at all, sir. Good. He leaned back in his chair. Also, your ex might need professional help. This level of creativity suggests some underlying issues. The gym was even better. My trainer Amy pulled me aside during my usual Tuesday session. Dude, is this real? She showed me the flyer. She actually asked for an open relationship first. Yeah, then got mad when I agreed to it. That is hilarious. She paused. Also, I am single if you are interested. But maybe wait until the crazy dies down. But the masterpiece was yet to come. Brooke somehow convinced her mom to host an intervention for me. An actual intervention, like I was addicted to heroin instead of just setting boundaries. I only went because I was genuinely curious about what this would look like. Walked into Deb's living room to find the whole circus. Brooke, Deb, Keith, looking uncomfortable. Brooke's Aunt Margot, who had never liked me anyway, and some woman with crystals and flowing scarves who introduced herself as Spirit Guide Raven. Dennis. Deb started, gesturing for me to sit on their floral couch. We are all here because we love you, and we are concerned about your behavior. You literally called me emotionally abusive last week. We are worried about your mental state. Aunt Margot chimed in. This isn't like you. Spirit Guide Raven started waving some kind of burning sage around my head. Your aura is very dark right now, very blocked. Lots of masculine anger energy. Cool. Brooke stood up dramatically, like she was about to deliver a speech at the UN. I am willing to forgive you. For what? For Haley. For being petty. For trying to hurt me instead of supporting my growth journey. I don't want your forgiveness. Yes, you do. You are just too proud to admit it. Bro. Just take her back so I can stop hearing about this every single day. She calls me crying at 6 a.m. Number Margot tried a different approach. Young man, relationships require compromise. You cannot just throw away 4 years over a misunderstanding. She wanted to date other dudes. I said okay. That is not a misunderstanding. That is not compromise, Brooke screamed. Spirit Guide Raven started humming and swaying. Nobody knew why. I need you to sign this. Brooke pulled out a stack of papers from her purse. It is a relationship contract I wrote. Says we are exclusive again. And you forgive me for my exploration phase. Number, sign it. Absolutely not. She threw the papers at me. They scattered everywhere like confetti. Spirit Guide Raven gasped and said something about negative energy disrupting the chakras. You are going to die alone. Brooke sobbed. Nobody will ever love you like I do. God, I hope not. Keith actually snorted, which earned him a death glare from his mom. I left, but not before Spirit Guide Raven slipped me her business card and whispered, Your aura is actually fantastic, very clear and grounded. Call me if you want to explore tantric healing. 2 weeks later, the extinction burst arrived. And by extinction burst, I mean Brooke lost her absolute mind. First, she tried to steal my dog. Problem. I don't have a dog. Never have. She broke into my apartment using that spare key I had forgotten about, under the fake rock, and took my neighbor's dog, Mrs. Chen's elderly beagle named Mochi. Mrs. Chen was absolutely furious. Brooke tried to explain to the cops that she thought it was mine because it barked at her once when she lived here. The same tired officer from before just looked at me and said, Brother, get a restraining order. Then she went after my job, but not by calling HR or making accusations. No. She applied for a position in my department, listed me as her primary reference. My manager called me, completely baffled. Dennis, she put you down as a reference and said you would give her a glowing recommendation because you owe her for stealing her youth. She is 27. Yeah, that is what I thought. We are not calling her back. But here is where Brooke really screwed herself. Remember Jasper? The marketing guy? Turns out he had been documenting everything because he has anxiety and documents everything as a coping mechanism. He showed up at my apartment one evening with his phone full of screenshots. I thought you should see these, he said, looking genuinely disturbed. She has been telling people some crazy stuff about you. The screenshots showed her admitting she had been planning to monkey branch to him for months, that she had been setting up the open relationship as a way to make Dennis let me go without looking like the bad guy. She told me you two were basically roommates, Jasper continued. Said it had been over for a year, but you were staying together for financial reasons. I thought I was just having a casual thing with someone who was basically single. Why are you showing me this? He rubbed his face, looking exhausted. Because now she is telling everyone that I corrupted her, that I pursued her aggressively. My actual girlfriend is pissed. I just wanted to hook up with someone I thought was available. We compared notes. You had been around. The open relationship was supposed to be her guilt-free way to shop for my replacement, while keeping me as a backup plan. But the absolute best part came yesterday. Haley called me laughing so hard she could barely talk. You need to see Brooke's dating profile. She gasped between giggles. She sent screenshots. Brooke had written this whole essay about being a survivor of narcissistic abuse, who was learning to love again, after her toxic ex tried to control her polyamorous journey. Under what I am looking for, a real man who understands that love means letting your partner grow while you wait faithfully for their return. Under deal breakers, men who think equality means they get to do what I do. The whole thing was insane. She had 12 matches, and I know, because she accidentally sent the screenshot to our old couple's group chat instead of just her sister. Everyone saw it. Everyone. Our mutual friend Tony responded immediately. Didn't you ask for the open relationship in the first place? She left the group chat, then came today. The finale, the piece de resistance. Brooke showed up at my apartment building at 7 a.m. with flowers and a ukulele. Yes, an actual ukulele. She stood outside my window and started singing songs she would apparently written about forgiveness and growth. My neighbors were not happy. It is a Tuesday morning, people have jobs. Sample lyrics. You took my love and twisted it around, made me the villain in my own hometown, but I forgive you for not understanding me. Come back, baby. We are meant to be. Mrs. Chen opened her window. Shut up or I am calling the cops again. This is art, Brooke shouted back. This is disturbing the peace. I finally went outside in my pajamas. Brooke, stop, people are trying to sleep. Not until you hear the bridge. It is about Haley being a succubus who stole your soul. We never even hooked up. She stopped strumming. What? Yeah, we had dinner, talked. She left at 9:30, that was it. The look on her face, the pure unfiltered rage, like I had just told her Santa wasn't real. You made me think. You let me believe, you assumed. She smashed the ukulele against the concrete. It didn't break dramatically like she probably hoped, just kind of bonked and made a sad twanging sound. She had to stomp on it a few times to really destroy it. Mr. Peterson from 3B leaned out his window. You gonna pay for that littering? She picked up the pieces and threw them at my door, missed completely and hit Mrs. Chen's window instead. That was it. Mrs. Chen came out with a baseball bat, not to use it, just to hold it meaningfully while glaring leave. Now, Brooke ran to her car crying about how everyone was against her, and nobody understood her artistic expression. It has been a month since Ukulele Day. Here is where everyone ended up. Brooke moved to Austin, announced on Instagram. She was starting fresh in a city that understands free spirits, posted a bunch of stories about her healing journey, and leaving her toxic past behind. Plot twist. Jasper's girlfriend DM'd me last week. Turns out Brooke had been texting her boyfriend for over a year before she even asked for the open relationship. His girlfriend had been collecting evidence the whole time, thinking something was off. We compared timelines. Brooke had been pursuing at least 3 different guys while planning her personal growth journey. The open relationship was never about self-discovery. It was about having a safety net while she auditioned replacements. Jasper and his girlfriend broke up, but that was over unrelated trust issues they had been having. He texted me, dodged a bullet with Brooke. Huh? More like a missile, I corrected. Haley's dating some guy she met at a bookstore. She sent me a thank you card that said, "Thanks for the most awkward dinner of my life. Keith," Brooke's brother, added me on Xbox Live. We play Warzone sometimes now. She has already posted about their twin flame connection. He said during our last gaming session, "Give it 3 months, and she will want an open relationship with him too." Deb still texts me occasionally asking if I have come to my senses. I just send back thumbs up emojis. Spirit guide Raven, and I went on one date. She spent the whole time reading my palms and telling me I had past life trauma from the Salem witch trials. Nice lady, but no second date. Amy from the gym and I have been hanging out, nothing serious yet. Just climbing and coffee. She thinks the whole Brooke saga is hilarious, and sometimes asks for ukulele updates as a joke. Mrs. Chen baked me cookies for handling that crazy girl without making our building look bad. She also made me get rid of the fake rock key holder. Stupidest place to hide key. Everyone knows fake rock. The flyers Brooke posted around town have turned into a weird local meme. Someone made them into a template. The coffee shop has one that says cheater, puts milk in before cereal. The gym has cheater, skips leg day. Last week I got a text from an unknown number. Dennis, this is River. Brooke's boyfriend in Austin. Can we talk? She says you were abusive, but her stories don't add up. Did she really ask for an open relationship first? I sent him screenshots of her original texts about needing to explore and find herself. His response, "Fuck. She just asked me for the same thing yesterday. Said it would help us grow stronger as individuals. I am already packing my stuff." Thanks for the warning, bro. Brooke's Instagram story that night. When the universe tests you with weak men who cannot handle a goddess's evolution. As for me, I am doing great. Apartment's peaceful. I have learned to make that pasta Haley liked. Turns out it is pretty easy. And I have added it to my regular rotation. Sometimes I think about those 4 years with Brooke. Wonder if there were signs I missed. Then I remember Keith's words from our last gaming session. Bro, she once cried because I wouldn't let her win at Monopoly. She said it was emotional manipulation disguised as game rules. The signs were billboards. You just loved her crazy ass. Fair point. To everyone asking if I regret being petty about the whole Haley dinner thing. Nah. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes. She wanted to have her cake and eat it too. Didn't expect me to grab my own fork. The only thing I regret. Not keeping that ukulele would have been a great conversation piece. Oh, and Brooke, if you are somehow listening to this, Keith says you definitely are. River wasn't the only one who reached out. Jackson from your CrossFit gym also texted. So did Miguel from that pottery class you took. They all had questions about your journey. Funny how the truth travels faster than you can run from it.